Hey, what's up everybody? This is Flash001 USA, and today's Wednesday. It's September 6th, the year 2019. It's right around 2:30 in the afternoon here. I thought I would do a little video and just kind of give everybody an update on what's going on at the Flash001 USA compound. And you can see right now what's going on. Yeah, I'm out here trimming some trees. For those of you that keep up with the channel, if you remember, right before summer ended, we got hit with some really good storms, and it took some trees down. It took quite a few of them down, actually. So I decided to get out here and take advantage of some nice weather. We've had temperatures actually up in the 70s here, so I decided to take advantage of it and get out here and do some tree trimming. For those of you that have ever dealt with Bradford pear trees, you know just how brittle they can be, especially if they get size to them and you get a windstorm on them. And these guys here, they got some size to them, as you can see. Sorry about the wind, there's nothing I can do about that, but these guys are getting pretty decent in size. This makes the second time since I've lived here that I've actually trimmed these things. So I've got the first one done. This was the worst one out of all of them right here. And by the time it blooms back out, it's going to look like a palmetto bush for a while, palmetto tree. Wound up getting a lot of firewood off of it. Nice little chunk come off of this, so when this season's out in the next year or so, I'll be able to use this in the fireplace. But been a job, no doubt about it. While I was out here doing this, and I mean I just did this off a whim. I knew I was going to do it this month, but I just couldn't get myself motivated to do it. So when Monday came and we had some really nice weather, I jumped on it. Well, while I did that, it just happened to be a tree service company came driving down the road, and he seen me out here. He came out here and started talking to me about, you know, wanting to do this job for me, and I was like, nah, I got it under control. Well, he got to looking at my woods and noticed that I had a bunch of giant poplar trees that got blew over. And this is what, for those of you that keep up the channel, you remember this if you go back to, I don't know, a couple videos back, but I had a lot of major damage out here, and we'll take a look at it. So he got to looking out there, and you know, he's like, well, you know, would you, you know, he just wanted the wood. He said, look, he said, would you be interested in me getting out here and harvesting the wood that's blown over? I was like, shoot, yeah, I would. So basically I did some bartering with him. I said, I'll tell you what, I said, I got quite a few trees here that need to go, and I'll cut a deal with you and just, you know, let them have the wood. I mean, they'll make money off of it, and at the same time I'll get what I want out of this little deal, which is, we're going to look at the studio here now. I've got a lot of trees on this property that were just too close to the building. So when the guy put it up here, why he didn't get in here and get rid of some of these trees, I don't know. I mean, it looked nice. I mean, especially, you know, when the trees were younger and they weren't leaning or anything, you know, it gave it a good country look out here. So the bottom line was, I told him, I said, I got some trees near this studio that I need to have cut, and you can have the wood off of it, and that's how we'll do the trade out on this. So he was definitely down for that. And I had some really big trees. I still got a couple of them here, right here, that are just too close to the building, including behind it. So in payment, which is not costing me anything, you know, they get the wood, and they'll make a decent little bit of money off this with wood that they're going to harvest. I'm not getting rid of my woods, don't get me wrong. So I'm letting him get out here and selectively harvest. But you can see right now, you see this one tree leaning sideways? What if that would have been that tree behind the building? Guess what? I would have been having to call my insurance company and get this building replaced along with landscaping out here so that it wouldn't happen again. So this was a blessing in disguise for me, because they're coming out here. He's already got one of my biggest headaches right here out of the way right here. And you can see this guy was hollow in the center. One of them wasn't, but one of them was, and that's dangerous. Now, for me to get out here and do something like this, I don't have the equipment to do it. I'm one guy, you know, just a little under 6 feet tall, with a chainsaw and a tiny truck. No way. No way in hell could I get out here and do this. So it needed somebody with equipment, somebody that was professional, and it just happened to be this guy offered. He said, yeah, you know, they'll make money off the wood. And he's going to get out here and manicure. So once they get out here and make their mess, he'll get out here with his scoop on the tractor, and he'll help me get some of this stuff under control where I can get in here and start keeping it under control with the riding lawnmower, which is what I want to do. So the good thing is, not only am I winding up with more firewood than I'll ever need and gasifier fuel, but I'm getting a problem nipped in the bud before it happens, which is my biggest fear. One of these damn trees blown over into this building. This is a nice building right here, and the last thing I want to have happen is the building to be no more because a damn tree lands in it. So they're working, they're surgically taking these things out for me, and most of this is popular and most of it's in really good shape. Like, I'll show you something here. This big mamba jamba here, you know, they'll make wood out of this. This will go, you know, this will definitely go straight to the saw house, and the sawmill will cut this up and make planks out of it. So they're not making wood out of it, but you know, they're making usable wood that can be used, you know, somebody to build whatever they want to build with it. But this guy here was part of this big root system right here, okay? So this thing took one hell of a beating when it fell over, but luckily there was enough good wood on it, it didn't split it or anything, so the wood house can take that, the sawmill can take it, and they can trim it down. They got rid of that, which I don't know if you'll even be able to figure it out what's on the video I showed with the storm, but that big giant one that had fallen over back here, they got that one out of here, so he's clearing out, and boy is that going to help me. That's really going to help me. Not only that, you know, right now it's a mess, and yeah, I will do a follow-up video on this once I start getting a handle on this, once they do. But he got in here, and they got their tractors in here, which this I can just absolutely appreciate. They've made me some trails through here, driving through here, so you know, it'll be up to me to get out here and try to keep any kind of vines and stuff down, keep the suckers out of here as much as possible. But he's opened up some areas in here for me to be able to get in here and actually even get my hands on smaller stuff much easier for the gasifier. So before, I used to just walk out here. It's like walking in a damn jungle. But I would get out here and get the fuel that I needed for the gasifier, or wood for the winter, which I don't have to have heating wood. But boy, it makes a difference when you get some days when it's like 4 and 5 degrees, 10 degrees, and the wind's blowing. It gives the heat pump a big break. But I want to show you something here. Check this out. This is another reason that I don't want nothing to do with this. And for those of you that work in wood, hint, hint, Bill, you know just how dangerous a hollow tree can be to cut it, because you have no earthly idea where it's going to fall. So there was quite a few of these they got rid of. But this guy here, little story behind this, and probably what killed it out and opened it up to infection and everything else, and critters that got in here and got inside of it and ate it out. But when I first moved here, this tree wasn't quite this big, but it got hit by lightning. I was in the house, and it hit, I mean, I felt it shake the ground. I felt it in the house. I knew it, I thought it hit one of my front trees or something. So I go running out the house, and I'm looking around, and this tree had the top blown out of it, and it split it. The lightning did, and I'm going to see if you can see the 4 or 5 little places here where it split it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, it split it, and I figured, well, you know, the tree would die, but it never did. It actually, you can see where it started skinning back over and was trying to close itself back up, but it didn't survive. I mean, the lightning wound up taking its toll on it. But when I came out here to this tree, I was looking around. I was expecting to see embers or something burning. It wasn't burning, but the tree was just steaming. It was really weird. I mean, it shattered the crap out of the top of it. It blew the top of it totally out. And everywhere you see these, I guess, open spots on the side of it, there was just steam pouring out of it where it was cracked. It was pretty crazy looking, actually. But these guys have gotten out here and done a jam-up job. And when I first moved here, I mean, I had people offer some decent money to come harvest all these trees off here, and I wouldn't let them do it. I was like, you know, I'd rather have it out here just because, for me, you know, this gives me privacy on the road. It's peaceful out here having this tree line out here, and my trees go way back. They go back as far as you can see through here. I've got roughly about 10 acres, and I'd say about 1/3 of it, maybe a little bit more, is woods like this, so that's not too bad. Plus my house is basically off the road and nestled in woods all the way around. So it's pretty crazy. when I first moved here, when we first moved here, we only had this tree line here. So we had some people that had a farm that were coming out here, and they were harvesting all of the grass and everything for their cattle. And I went ahead and I told the guy, I said, you know, I think that the trees will grow back if we just leave it alone, because I knew that they had been cleared off before, like years ago. So I was right, I made a call, and it took it about 7 or 8 years, and then the trees started coming back. And the same thing with the woods on the opposite side over here. They started coming back, and so what I wound up with was extreme privacy. And if I had some stuff growing out in the front out here, man, I would literally be hidden. This would literally be a compound. But yeah, like I said, it's been a job. It's getting done. And they've hauled off quite a bit of wood out here so far. And they got quite a bit more to go. But this helps me, like I said, this helps me with, it doesn't do me any good having trees laying on the ground out there, because, you know, that's good wood going to waste. And I mean, I just can't stand that. But you can see they've got a lot here they've pulled out. Well, this is very little actually. They've already hauled off a load on it. So in the trade-off for this, they'll make some money off of it. You know, they'll be well compensated for the wood that they've got off here that they're taking, you know, to the sawmill. And at the same time, I get to protect my building and get all this dangerous trees away from it, because, you know, last year, what if that storm would have came in the other way? You know, it's quite possible this building wouldn't be here right now. And just the thought of having to go back in and rebuild a studio, man, it took me a long time to get what I've got done already. So anyhow, don't mean to bore everybody. I just wanted to bring everybody in on the Flash 001 USA compound to let you see what's going on. So on that note, I'm going to sign off. And what I'll do is, like I said, somewhere down the line here, once everything gets kind of cleared off and we burn some of this brush or haul it off or whatever we're going to do with it, I'll make another video so everybody can see what's going on. But yeah, like I said, I'm glad I got out here and decided to trim these trees. It was the right timing, because somebody come out here and seen an opportunity. They thought they were going to be making money off of me out here trimming these trees for me, but they also inquired about what was in the woods, and I kind of played it smart with it. You know, I was like, hey, let's make this symbiotic for both of us. And they were down for that. So there you go. Okay, guys, Flash 001 USA, and we're going to shut the camera off. We hope you guys are having some nice weather. So we're going to take it inside, and then we're going to get back out here and start tree trimming.